Hello. Today is a Friday, June 25th, 2021. A couple things I need to get done. It's gonna be hot, so I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of physical stuff today. Gonna come over and kind of service the sawmill. Haven't changed the oil in a while. I need to do that. I don't keep good track of the hours. Probably should do a better job. But there's things I got to do to it. I'm gonna change the oil. I could put a new blade on, a sharper blade, but I don't think it doesn't need it yet, so I'm not gonna do that. Fill it up with gas. Obviously got to take this tarp off, and then there's a couple other things that I want to do to it. So anyway, get right back at you with that. Got to get all my tools together, then I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, bye. Well, they don't make this drain plug. There's two of them. One there and one on this side. So I decided to go ahead and drain it on that side over there. No real reason. I'm gonna, you can see how it's not, it's okay. The oil's just okay. That's the easiest place to put the oil in. Maybe that's why. The way motors are built, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm gonna take that drain plug out there. I guess I could loosen that one up there too. That fill cap. Just so it has, not creating a vacuum. So I'm going to take this drain plug out. I lowered the motor down as far as I could. This is not going to be clean, a clean job. It's going to be messy. So let's see. Wow, it's quite long. Okay, so I'm gonna put that, and it's just drained into a bucket. I have a way to get rid of that, so I'm gonna just let that do its business. I lowered that down as far as it would go. Just gonna let it drain. Just gonna let it spend a little bit of time. Totally draining out, and then refill it. So okay, that's on that. Now next thing I'm gonna do is, I think I showed you a while back, the clamps on this to prevent the system from rising or lowering as you're milling are right here, and they tighten down on this pole right here, down here. Well, they didn't work real well, so I created my own, and I put these threads in here. There's all threads through, and then that way I could tighten it with the wrench and tighten it down, and it doesn't let it slide up and down. Well, periodically, like right now, this one over here is stripped out. So I will go through the process of showing you what I'm doing to make this work better. Okay, let me get my tools. All right, what I did was I put a nut on here, and I put a cotter pin on the back side, and I'll show you this whole thing after I get it taken apart. So I got the cotter pin out. There's a nut on the back with the plastic washer built into it so it doesn't vibrate off. So I got that on the back side. And sometimes it comes off a little easier than others. Like right now it's being stubborn, which is okay because that's what I wanted. Alright, it's getting it off here. There we go. Well, I said there we go. It wasn't a there you go. Not quite a there you go. Maybe that's a there you go. Yeah. Alright, there's a there you go. Okay. Now, I had this washer on there. Then I had this nut on there, and then you see this hole right there, I think, right? That goes on there. And then I put this cotter pin, I think it's called a cotter pin, right? In there. Or whatever kind of clip that is. Through there to keep the nut from vibrating off. Okay. Now, what I do from this point is I pull this nut out, because this is where it's stripping out. So I pull this nut out further. I may have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to get the pliers or needle nose here to hold this, because my hand is just not strong enough. You like to see how I got my accent going right then? All right. Sometimes, you know, you get working and come on. It's doing what I want. It's just being difficult about it. Ah! All right, I need to take that off because I'm going to throw it around someplace. It's starting to sweat like crazy already. So I was saying I didn't want any physical work today. And then, of course, the easy jobs get physical, huh? This should just go right off here, but it's being stubborn. So I may have to go over and get some vice grips or something. Yep, that's what I'm going to do before I hurt myself, so I'll be right back. Okay, I got that off. Now what I do is I put this back on, and then I actually put a spacer. It's just a big nut, so that it pulls this bad area away, where that nut, when I start screwing it on there to tighten it, it won't get near there. So the threads that are bad won't be used anymore. So I put this back on, put the washer back on, put the nut back on. See how I like my accent getting all thick. Come on. It's back here in a little tight situation. Gotta make sure it goes on straight, because I don't want to strip it out. There we go. You know, and the thing is I could have ordered new clamps, new things that those, whatever, I think they're called clamps, fasteners, you know, so I wouldn't have to do this. But from what I've seen, the people that have this Harbor Freight sawmill, they tend to have trouble with that part of the machine. So I'm like, you know, there we go. Why not just make my own? That way I don't have to worry about it. And I know, you know, that way I won't get frustrated with it. Because if I bought it new and then it messed up again, I'd get frustrated, you know, like most people. All right, then I leave that on there like that. There's that part. The next thing I want to look at is this water valve. I put these water valves on here. You push this up, the water turns on down there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's dripping down through there. Show this side better. See, that goes on the blade. The water goes on the blade, cools it down. Well, one of the valves, this one, is messing up a little bit. So I'm gonna mess with that a little bit and see what I can figure out. Well, from what I can tell, it's gonna be okay. There's, I don't know if you can see it, flat edges on both sides. That nut looks like it just loosened up. So it was letting it spin around, so I just make sure that when I tighten this back up, that it's where it's supposed to be. And from what I can tell, it is going to be fine. Let me see if I can do this without dropping these small lock nut washer and nut on the ground, which I did. Alright, so now I just gotta get my little wrench, tighten that nut back up there. Alright, that was an easy fix. You know how you do a job and you're like, yeah, that worked easy? Well, apparently this is just stripped out inside. It's hooked up correct now. It's just, now it won't turn off, or, well, it's just stuck on, which will be fine because I still have this one up here. But that just tells me I need to get me a couple more, because if that one's going bad, this one could be. So anyway, there's something I got to put on my list to get. All right, there's that. The water reservoir is easy to fill. Take this cap off, which you've seen before. I started putting some Dawn in, just a touch. They say that makes the blade cut better and last longer, so you know, I do that. Then I just pour the water in, which I have in a bucket over here. Well, I need to clean that out. It's a little dirty, but that's all right. It just goes through that hose and hits the blade down there. The only negative could be is if it clogged the line up, but the line's pretty thick, so. Okay, got that done. I also brought over a gas can that I have, filled up my gas can that I keep near the sawmill, and filled the tank up. It's ready to go. Water tank's ready to go. Now I just got to go get my oil and finish replacing my oil. So I don't know that I'll show you me putting oil in it. You know, that's one of those things, right? It's like changing the oil, you just drain it, put some more in there. I'll have to get a little funnel, get the oil. I'm not real sure. It looked like about 1.5, 2 quarts. I'll have to check on that to see how much to put in there. But that's it. Servicing the sawmill, pretty easy. I've shown you changing the blade before, on that bandsaw sawmill. So just wanted to show you what I was doing today in the heat. Okay, I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and keep watching. Danny Designs out.